Music, streaming, entertainment, sports, and the fallout between Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and the British Parliament. Not great, Colby. Yeah. Those are the topics tonight on Monday, March 8, 2021. Welcome to RMU Extra. I'm Austin Bechtold alongside Colby Sherwin once again for the second week in a row. Colby, thanks for hosting alongside with me again.
Thanks for having me on.
We might have to make this the permanent duo.
Yeah.
For the time forward. I like it. We got some good chemistry going. But tonight, Jared Calvert and I will break down the biggest one-hit wonders, or top 5 one-hit wonders in music. You won't want to miss that. Mike Delahanty will join Colby to discuss the conclusion of WandaVision. And Colby and I will break down This Week in Sports, our top 5 streaming services, and so much more here on RMU Extra. But we first begin tonight with the interview heard around the world on Sunday as Oprah Winfrey sat down with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in a 2-hour special airing on CBS from 8 to 10 p.m. The first hour of the interview was Oprah and Markle discussing her introduction into the royal family and falsities that were relayed to the press, with the tabloids portraying her in ways she deemed was unfair and the opposite of the truth. The report that Markle made Kate Middleton cry, Markle says, was in fact the opposite, with her claiming that she was indeed the one doing the crying. Once Harry joined the fold in the second hour of the interview, the couple first revealed that their second child being expected is going to be a girl, giving oldest child Archie a younger sister, delighting Oprah to be able to hear the news. She then proceeded to discuss Harry's fallout with his family, with Harry saying that his father and brother are both trapped inside of British Parliament, with Harry originally moving to Canada with Meghan and still hoping to maintain a role inside the royal family. Well, things changed once the pandemic began and the couple relocated to Los Angeles. Now, Queen Elizabeth II spoke to her British counterparts just before the interview was set, but not to talk about the interview that was taking place with Oprah, but rather to address the Commonwealth countries and give statements about what was going on in the country, meaning to the COVID-19 pandemic. She said, quote, "As we celebrate the friendship, spirit, and unity and achievements of the Commonwealth, we have an opportunity to reflect on a time like no other. The testing times experienced by so many have led to a deeper appreciation of the mutual support and spiritual sustenance we enjoy by being connected to others." Well, Colby, this was a very, very fascinating interview on CBS. It was one that Oprah stated was probably her best, and in my opinion, watching every second of it, it was no doubt her best interview that she's practically ever done.
Yeah, this kind of sounds like a soap opera almost. Everything is insane. The Queen seems to be upset. Apparently, there's another child be born. Like, this is insane to me.
Yeah, Colby. You know, the rights that CBS needed to acquire to be able to have Oprah sign off on this was around $7 million, Colby. I mean, that is a crazy amount of money to be able to secure this interview request. Ads were selling for, I believe, about $350,000, maybe $35,000. I'm not exactly sure on the math there, but 35 was the first two numbers. It was just an extravagant interview, an extreme interview, where Meghan basically said that she didn't feel welcome inside of British Parliament. And Harry, I guess, once he met Meghan, they were just trying to find an escape. And they really both caved under the pressure, really. Now, Harry does not have any of the same royal privileges that he has before. And British Parliament did not offer Meghan any support or any protection, as well as for their son, Archie. So that's part of what really pushed them over the edge. And that's what Meghan said was her one real regret.
Yeah, Meghan's been saying a lot recently, and since the beginning, since she married Harry, she's never really felt welcome by the family, and I think that's really the main issue that we've been hearing a lot.
That's what did it all in.
Well, speaking of CBS, on Thursday, CBS All Access went through a bit of a change, but on the plus side, it became Paramount Plus. The site looks virtually the same with just a few new shows. It costs $6 if you are looking for shows. Check these out: Drake and Josh, The Twilight Zone, and Star Trek Picard. Check these out if you've got nothing to watch, or check out the old Nick classic shows going on there, and so much more. Now, this next story is a bit of a drag, but Disney's new animated movie Raya and the Last Dragon came out last week to some mixed reviews. Critics have given the movie upward of 95%, and some audience scores have been low as 50. You can see it in theaters or on Disney Plus for $30. First off, I would never pay $30 for a movie. What a lot of people have concerns is it's considered to be a worse Moana. Austin, would you pay $30 for a movie?
Colby, I would not pay $30 for a movie. Now look, one of my favorite movie series is The Fast and the Furious, and the new movie is coming out in the next couple months. But even then, I don't think I would pay $30 to get back into the theater and, sit there with, I wonder if some of that probably doesn't even include like the popcorn, the $10 popcorn, a drink, which is like $5. I mean, we're not at the Pirate game here. You don't have to jack up the prices that much. But it's very interesting. What do you think, Colby? Did you like it? Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I kind of felt the dragon character, I believe Sarah is how you pronounce it. She was really annoying. Going into the trailers, I figured she would be the reason why I didn't like the movie, and she in fact was the reason.
I thought you were looking forward to watching the movie.
I was hyped for it. I liked Moana. It looked exactly like Moana, honestly, and that's why I checked it out. But again, $30 is just way too much.
That is a lot of money for a movie. But meanwhile, back in the entertainment world, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West have officially called it quits on their marriage after tying their vows in 2014. A massive December fight led to the divorce and thus questions about the future of the couple's 4 kids, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. A trailer for the final season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians was released with Kim crying over and over, saying, quote, "I am a effing loser." One source told US Magazine that the couple's worldviews no longer lined up, with Kanye's run for president not helping the matter. Very, very crazy situation there, Colby. After crashing his car and suffering injuries, forcing him into surgery, Tiger Woods has told police that he has no memory prior to crashing his SUV and almost killing him. In an affidavit issued to examine the black box from Woods' car, they learned that Woods repeatedly encountered not knowing what had happened to him prior to the accident. Really crazy things going on. Woods and his associates have cooperated with the investigation as well, and no blood was drawn from Woods' body, as police say that there was no probable cause in doing so. Woods continues to recover and was honored by fellow tour golfers last week.
Well, it looks like Adele will have to lend her love to somebody else. Adele and her ex-husband, Simon Neked, have filed for their divorce after 2 years. In January, the former couple filed a judgment package with the court of Los Angeles. The two have an 8-year-old son, Angelio, and a spokesperson for the singer said, quote, "Adele and her partner have separated." Her representative said in a statement to the Associated Press, "At the time, they are committed to raising their son together lovingly as they always have. They asked for their privacy. There will be no further comment." End quote. Very sad story.
Colby, this might make for some really good Adele music in the future, though. Breakups can really spark a lot of good music, so we'll see if that happens. But meanwhile, fans are now anticipating that the new Friends reunion special is coming soon. And they got some splendid news when David Schwimmer said last week that filming will begin in a little over a month. He said that he's flying out to LA soon to be able to prepare for the shoot. And he was asked by Andy Cohen if he can reveal who is going to be hosting the reunion show. But he said, no, can't tell you. The HBO Max special will reunite Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, and Schwimmer on camera for the first time since the show formally concluded on NBC in 2004.
I'm going to have to check that out, Austin. Well, Drake has released a new album called Scary Hours 2. The album includes songs What's Next and What Needs featuring Lil Baby and Lemon Pepper Freestyle featuring Rick Ross. So far, the album has an overall score of 95%. It looks like the rapper has dropped another hit album again with these 3 songs. If you haven't listened to them, make sure to check it out. Now, Austin, we're going to talk about some of my favorite songs, and my friend Ethan and I picked these ones out for you.
That's a good collaboration right there.
Yeah, me and Ethan. We're gonna talk about a little bit of the songs. So the first one is called "Poster Girl" by Zara Larsson.
Okay.
She released 3 songs this album: "Love Me Land," Talk About Love," and "Need Someone." To me, "Need Someone" seemed like the best song of the album. But have you heard of any of these songs?
Well, I've heard a lot of Thomas Rhett songs. I've also heard a lot of Ariana Grande songs. And, she's not the same Ariana Grande that we used to see on the Nickelodeon. But, a lot of her songs that have come out have been really positive. I know "Positions" is a very popular song, both just in the music industry and also on TikTok, Colby. What do you think of TikTok, Colby? Do you like, do you find some of these songs as TikTok-worthy songs? Thomas Rhett he's a great artist to listen to in the summer, I feel.
Yeah, I would see Thomas Rhett is probably a good TikTok artist. Ariana Grande always seems to be on TikTok though, since she's been Sam Cat, excuse me. She was on Sam and Cat. but she just seems to always be popping up somewhere on social media or music. But, you know, she's a very interesting artist, to say the least.
To say the least. But coming up after the break, Jared Calvert will be joining me to talk about some more music. We're going to give our top 5 biggest one-hit wonders in our minds of all time. So make sure to stay tuned here on RMU Extra.
Over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Back to RMU Extra. I'm now joined by our music connoisseur, as always, Jared Calvert. Jared, thanks for coming on, as always.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Of course, a lot of always in that sentence. But we always talk about music as well, and we always like to talk about our rankings of music. So now we have our top 5 one-hit wonders of all time. Why don't you start off with your number 5 song at the bottom of your list? What is the 5th best one-hit wonder in your opinion?
Mine is Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve. Just the orchestra. It's the best part of the song.
Yeah.
The Britpop, you always hear it on the radio, 105.9 DX. I'll move up to 4, Hot Boy by Bobby Shmurda. This one has a little bit of an asterisk next to it.
Controversy involved here.
Yes, even though he's been in prison for the past 5-6 years, he just got released 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure he's going to be dropping some heat real soon.
Okay.
Billionaire, we all know who blew up from that song, Bruno Mars. But do you know who wrote it?
I do not.
Who performed it? Travis McCoy. Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Since. 1,000 Miles. This is iconic.
Another good song.
With white chicks.
Oh, all right.
And the piano is so iconic.
Yeah.
And my number 1 song, somebody that I used to know. I still sing it even when I hear it on the radio. Sometimes I'll put it on the aux, but it's just extremely catchy.
Somebody that I used to know. Very, very catchy song indeed, Jared. All right, here we go. My list. I have number 5, Stacey's Mom. Everybody has heard the song Stacey's Mom because they say Stacey's mom has got it going on. And you realistically should probably not say that in real life. That's by Fountains of Wayne. Have you ever heard of them? I have not. Also, at number 4, we got Gangnam Style. Remember the Gangnam Style dance? Everybody dancing the Gangnam Style. I'm not even going to try to embarrass myself by doing the Gangnam Style dance. But PSY released that, and ever since that dropped, you've not heard from him again. At number 3, I got Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Riders. This is one of my favorite songs, partly because this is kind of part of a tribute too, because my aunt was named Eileen. And how about this for a story? I don't want to go sob story here on Extra, but when my aunt Eileen died, she died of cancer. The next day when I went to mini golfing, we were on vacation. We were there, and the first song that played was "Come On Eileen" at mini golfing when me and my dad was there. So pulls at my heartstrings a little bit there. Number 2. Jump Around. You know, you go to a lot of college football games. You go to just any type of big sporting event. You hear Jump Around. You know who sung Jump Around? House of Pain. You know, they did not inflict much pain. You know, maybe if they're jumping around, they'll inflict some pain on people.
Other than that, no, nothing.
Other than that, the song is great. Number one, though, Jesse's Girl. Jesse's Girl, no doubt, number one song for me. Rick Springfield. So Rick must have really liked Jesse's Girl. You know, there's a saying that someone has told me. I don't know exactly how true it is, but you know, maybe it was in effect for Rick. The best looking girl is the last girl that you've seen. The hottest looking girl you've ever seen is the last girl you've seen. So maybe Rick was thinking that when he really wanted Jesse's Girl, and it made him write this song, and it puts it at the top of my list.
That is some good wisdom there. Jump Around was the Penguins' goal song last year. And people were furious. Now it's back to Party Hard. And I definitely do remember the Gangnam Style wave back when I was younger. That literally took over the world.
So what's your Calvert critique for this week?
Well, I have two.
Okay.
Colby brought it up earlier, Scary Hours 2. I gave it a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. It just got better as it went on. My favorite song was the Lemon Pepper Freestyle with Rick Ross. Okay. He was only on there for the first minute, and then Drake just took over the rest of it and destroyed the rest of the song. And
then we see a song, you know, that we like the original Life's a Mess by Juice WRLD, but we see the remake here. You're not as big of a fan. I'm not that big of a fan either. Why don't you really like this remake of the song?
I honestly just could have lived without it. Yeah. Halsey, her part was way much better. The Juice WRLD second verse was better. I was excited to see on Clever's album that he was going to have Post Malone and Juice WRLD as a feature on this song, but this just wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something different. This is just a remix that isn't as good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just didn't like it. And Post Malone even, it didn't flow.
Post Malone sounded exactly like Clever.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. But Jared, thanks as always for coming on.
Of course.
Really appreciate it. Now, if you want to be able to catch some more RMU-related content, make sure to check out RMU Radio for top shows like my show, Bald in the Berg, hosted by me, Nate Breisinger, and also Andrew Govash. You can find Where's the News as well, which one of the co-hosts is our TV GM, Nick Hedrick. Big shout out to him as always. You can also check out RMU Century Media, but if you can't check us out, you can check us out on Podbean if you can't check us live on RMU Radio. But yes, on RMU Century Media, you can find some of the best content related to arts and entertainment for RMU Century Media's big team of writers and broadcasters like here on RMU TV. And you can also check out the RMU Music Series, which will be in the place of us next week, next Monday night. Make sure to check that out as well. But coming up after the break, Colby Sherwin will be joined by Mike Delahanty to give a recap of WandaVision as the show has now concluded on Disney+. So make sure to stay tuned for that here on RMU Extra.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How was it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. Joining me now is Mike Delahanty, and we're going to talk about WandaVision because we both watched it.
We did, and every week that was like the tradition where one of us would watch the episode first, and we'd text each other. We'd be like, "Hey, have you watched it yet?" So it was a fun experience.
It definitely was. Now the season has concluded. It concluded on Friday. So first off, overall, what did you think of the season, and can you give me a rating out of 10?
Yeah, so I would definitely give this an 8 out of 10. Going into it, watching the first couple episodes, I didn't think that it would be what it turned into. When they first announced WandaVision and how it would be like a 50s, 60s rom-com type show, I was really surprised on what it turned out to be at the, from where we started in the first episode to where episode 9 ended on Friday.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I would give it at least a 7, 8 out of 10 maybe. When they announced it, I agree with you. It really wasn't the one that was catching my eye. I would say Falcon and the Winter Soldier was that one, but when we started getting into it, episode 3, when we saw the outside world, that's when I kind of gravitated to it and really looked forward to it every Friday.
That had to be the best episode. One of the best episodes is when they revealed this Monica Rambeau, who I don't think we've seen the last of her in the MCU.
So that actually leads me into my next question. Which episode out of the 9 was your favorite?
I can't think of the episode number, but I think it was the one that was based off of The Office.
That was episode 7, I
believe. See, I wanted to say 6, but I'm glad you corrected me there. Yeah, that had to be one of my favorite episodes. We learned a lot in that episode, with the big twist at the end with Agnes, or Agatha, and then we learned a lot about how Wanda was really feeling, the whole thing with Vision and then her kids. A lot had taken a toll on her, and we really saw that in that episode.
I would have to say for me, episode 3 was my favorite. I really liked the 70s element of it. It had really good comedy to me, and I look forward to that in a TV show, but just to see the outside world a little bit is really what drew me back in for episode 4 and on. So next, you talked about Monica Rambeau. Which actor did you like their performance the most in this show?
Obviously, Elizabeth Olsen. I believe that this was kind of a step out of her comfort zone, especially with the character of Scarlet Witch or Wanda. It was really a change for her to step into the comedic side a little bit, with a lot of the episodes that were comedic and the comic relief that was in those episodes. But also Paul Bettany, one of the best, from the time he started out as Jarvis in the first Iron Man movie, and from now here he is as Vision. It's really been a cool transition, and he's a fantastic actor.
I would have to agree with you with Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, but Catherine Hahn for me stole the show. From just becoming the nosy neighbor to now be the villain of the series. It was insane to watch. But speaking of that, what did you think of the twist that goes with Agnes?
See, I was really surprised about it. I thought she was just this comedic relief kind of character for the first 5 or 6 episodes. And then, there was that twist at the end of episode 7 where it really took me by surprise, because, that we saw that this wasn't just a comic relief character anymore. Like, this was the villain of the show, basically.
I really did enjoy your performance. Mike, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on, Colby.
Thank you. But when we come back, Austin and I will be giving our What to Watches. Stay with us on RMU Extra.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
How prepared is your family
if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza. Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to RMU Extra. Colby, it is time for our What to Watch. I'm going to go first this week. My What to Watch is, and I mentioned it in last week's show, NCIS New Orleans. You got to watch it while you still can. It's on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. on CBS. It was not on last night because of the special Oprah interviewing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It's also streaming now on Paramount Plus. The show is in the 8th and now final season with Scott Bakula as Agent Pride leading the NCIS New Orleans team into battle really consistently. Every episode is still pretty intriguing. Now ratings have dipped significantly than in the past couple years, but it's still going to be, regardless, a show that you should watch because the first 6 seasons, Colby, were just so great. They were so action-packed, and it was a very energetic show. But once they moved it from Tuesday nights to Sunday nights, it really started to fall out of fortune. What's your What to Watch?
Now, Austin, that sounds like a very interesting show, but for my What to Watch, it is the 2004 Nick show, Ned's Declassified Middle School Survival Guide. Now, Austin and I may both be in college, but this show still holds up. From the great jokes by the kids' actors, my personal favorite character is Cookie, to the adults giving it their all, Gordy, the school janitor, being my favorite. He's played by Dan Norris, who you may remember, who played Cosmo in The Fairly Odd Parents, and the amazing narrator in the Cartoon Network show, The Powerpuff Girls. It is amazing in this show. Make sure to check this show out because this is a funny one.
Wow, very, very talented. Those are some of the most widely known shows, really, of our generation growing up, Colby.
Yeah.
But we mentioned streaming services so much on this show because really, Colby, that's just starting to take over. That's what's taking over right now in terms of network TVs. You're not watching it as much. Sometimes, like with NCIS New Orleans, if you cannot watch it on Sunday nights, you can just go stream it now on Paramount Plus. But, Colby, let's go to you first. What is your best streaming service? What is your top 5? If you had to rank them, what's your top 5? Start with number 5. What's your 5th most favorite?
Now, my number 5 is Hulu. Hulu is used to what my family used instead of cable. They have live sports on there. They have some great shows. I think of Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, that kind of stuff. If you're looking for that,
you watch Hulu. You watch some shows live on Hulu, then, not just streaming.
Yeah, we did the live program, which has live sports. You've seen their commercials. Now, going on to my number 4, it's another live streaming service, which is Fubo. And the reason I like Fubo a little bit more than Hulu is they have AT&T Sports Network. Hulu did not. Now I can watch the Penguins and the Pirates.
Nice.
Moving on is Peacock. Peacock has all those NBC shows like The Office, Parks and Rec, that kind of stuff. If you're looking for that, that's why you would go to Peacock. Now, number 2 is Disney Plus. It has Disney shows, obviously, Disney movies, which that's just my childhood, and that's why I picked that. Number 1 is Paramount Plus with all the Nick shows, and once again, live sports, which is very important to me.
Of course, Colby. Now, let's take a look at mine. I also, at number 1, have Paramount Plus. Colby, it's just great. CBS All Access was my favorite from the beginning, so transitioning to Paramount Plus is obviously special. ESPN Plus, you didn't mention that. It has all your live sports. It's where I'm able to watch all of our Robert Morris sports as well. Disney Plus, as you mentioned, another good outlet to be able to watch so many different shows, and also the Marvel movies. I also have Hulu. I don't watch that much on Hulu, but one thing I do like watching there is One Tree Hill. It's an old show that I watched that used to air on the CW. And number 5 I have as Peacock. You also touched on it. Peacock with all the great NBC shows that you're able to see. And, having The Office on there really boosted Peacock from, something. It really gave The Office a brand and gave it an identity. And is really something that, is helping NBC to be able to boost their streaming service. But now we don't see anything with ABC either. So it's really weird. But Colby, that's all we have for the show today on RMU Extra. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.